Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ahdurin region. I'm your host, Ahdurin himself, and this is gonna be, I guess, another one of those updatey podcast video-esque things. So be sure to like and subscribe in case you leave the page and the algorithm assumes you're not listening or watching to the video, because that's how it works. So I was going to do a proper edited sort of video-esque thing to do this formal announcement of here's what I'm planning on in 2024, and then time passed and I realized, oh shoot, I need to get this video up soon. So rather than do that, I'm going to do what I do best and kind of just wing it. Talk about 2024 plans with random gameplay in the background that both hints at what's happening and also explains at least one of the various things that I'm planning on in 2024. So sit down, relax, grab a snack, or just have this on YouTube and get some headphones, walk around, do some work, whatever works for you. Just remember to like, comment, subscribe, and do all those things you ought to do in supporting a YouTube channel. So, I am ready for this. I'm excited. 2024 is cool. It's fun. It's weird. There's an audience that wants to listen to what I have to say and is interested in what I'm doing, which is very different than, at least on YouTube, than in most years in the past where I just post these for my own video diary's sake. So, let's talk about 2024 and expectations, goals, ideas, and stuff like that, because in prior years, although ironically, I don't think I did it last year, which may have been my most successful YouTube year. I've had goals in the past of I want this many subscribers, this many likes, and videos to produce and stuff like that. And I tend to whittle it down to things that are controllable under my hand. Because I could have the world's best or worst video, and it doesn't really matter unless people subscribe and people watch and people view it, right? So I tend not to go to the subscriber goal limit, especially in recent times. I tend to go more of I want to play this many games on the channel, or I want to make this many videos. So I think we'll start with that. Now, all of these, the smart thing to do would have been to write this down, but that's not me because that's not what I'm known for. So a lot of this is just coming off the dome here. I think there's a couple of things that I want to do, a couple of things idea-wise that I'm interested in. Number one, more Mystery Dungeon challenges. I think that's not exactly a bold take for a variety of reasons. One, that seems to be the most successful thing on the channel. And two, the challenges are fun to do. So I want to do more of those. I've got some interesting ideas, some of which I've already announced about, trying to play through Explorers of Sky with 2 Shedinja. I'm going to tell you right now, that's very hard and very annoying. And for all I know, that video isn't coming out until next December. But it really just depends on how long it takes for me to actually get it recorded, done, and maybe it's not even possible, who knows. But at the very least, right now, it's a pain. As you might expect with it being 2 Shedinja. But I've got a bunch of different challenges and ideas on those, which sort of leads into more Mystery Dungeon related stuff. I want to actually play the other Mystery Dungeon games on the channel. I've sort of had this, and I don't know if it's been announced. I've mentioned it in videos in the past and throughout the comments and other things like that. I don't want to do challenges of a game, especially going forward, unless I have played that game already. And with a YouTube channel, I think it'd be fun to have a proper location for the first time playthrough of various different games. And while I may be known as a Mystery Dungeon challenge guy, though I do know what happens in them, I have only played the first 2 generation of games. So the Blue Rescue Team, which you're seeing on the screen, Red Rescue Team combo, I played, owned, purchased the whole 9 yards of Blue Rescue Team way back in the day and played through that. Explorers of Sky was my 2nd generation Mystery Dungeon game. Played through that a bunch of times, and Time and Darkness are basically the same thing with a little less stuff involved, like the Shaman Village and all that. And then Gates to Infinity. I know what happens, but I have not played through it. Super Mystery Dungeon. I know what happens, but I have not played through it. And Rescue Team DX, I very much know what happens, because the plotline is very similar, but again, have not played through it. So, I think in the Mystery Dungeon location, I want to play... Ideally, I'd like to get them both done, but it really just depends on how scheduling works and how long those playthroughs take. But at the very least, I want to do Gates to Infinity. I think that is the next Mystery Dungeon game thing that I really want to do on this channel. Just a normal, regular playthrough of Gates to Infinity from a guy who has never played Gates to Infinity himself. So you can look forward to that sometime. All of this is sometime this year, because I'm gonna be talking about a lot of different things that I'm interested in doing. So Gates to Infinity, maybe if we have time and I'm able to do so Super Mystery Dungeon, but at the very least, Gates to Infinity, so we can start doing challenges in Gates to Infinity. Now, I will be honest with you. Unlike Blue Rescue Team and Explorers of Sky, both of which have a lot of fan base behind it, and a lot of how best to say this, manipulation ability, if that's even a word. Between those games, Gates to Infinity, as far as I know, doesn't have as much, but I still think we can find some intriguing ways to play through those games. Which leads me into the first challenge announcement thing, which I've announced previously, but what I want to talk about right now. In Pokemon Blue Rescue Team, in fact, both the last update video and this one, you might notice it's Blue Rescue Team, but with two different starter combinations. And that is the first two episodes, I suppose, the first two challenges, I guess, of what I am colloquially, I don't know how to say that word, but you know the word, what I'm effectively calling a time trial sort of thing. The starter series, time trial edition or something. I don't know. The name will probably get determined by the time that first video goes out. Where I want to go through Pokemon Blue Rescue Team with every single starter combination with specific rule sets that'll be standard across them to find out what is the best starter combination for this challenge. Now, it's not the best speedrunning one. These are not speedruns. As you can tell by the fact that for some reason I didn't click right there, the A button, or hold the B button, which I guess is the better way to do it. I just let it sit there. So these are not speedruns by any stretch of the imagination, but they are standardizing each run and seeing based on the starters and how they can operate which one is actually the best. And so I'm going to go through it. It's very similar to, and I want to shout out J-Rose for this, very similar to J-Rose's current series of going through Generation 1 of Pokemon, so the Kanto games, going through Generation 1 of Pokemon with every single Pokemon and solo running the game with them. It's similar to that. Again, unlike, I could theoretically do it with all 300 plus Pokemon, but I'll be honest, and especially with the way that I'm doing this, where every starter combination is done as opposed to just starter, that would be roughly 300 times 300 different iterations of it. And while I'd love to play through this game a bunch of times, I don't think 900 plus different combinations is going to be entertaining for everybody. We could still do interesting ones, of course. Like I've got and one idea is like Devil Bad Fish, aka the Magikarp Feebas run. Or something like that on this game, or Explorers of Sky, because it's easier to manipulate starters in Explorers of Sky, but we could do something like that. But at the very least, this is a challenge that theoretically you could do as well, or just sort of like determining which one's the best based on an arbitrary rule set that I made up and then instantly on my first run accidentally broke, which I'll talk about that when posting that first episode. So that'll be sort of like the challenge thingy thing that will be occurring every weekend, he says hesitantly. Probably not, I'll be honest. But we'll find out how that upload schedule. That'll be the Saturday upload that in the past has sort of been dedicated to like challenge videos or like big production stuff. This is going to be sort of like a main series thing that'll be happening throughout 2024. And so I'd like to get a few of those up. I'm going to be safe about it. I probably should have done the math, but I have not, to determine how many different starter combinations there are. But of the 52 weeks in the year, roughly, let's say about, 20 weeks of starter combinations. That gives me the opportunity to do every other week, which I feel like might be more of a reasonable schedule, considering my specific random goals and ideals and stuff like that. So you can look forward to that. The first one, I hesitantly say will come out next week on Saturday. I say hesitantly because while it is done and recorded, I still don't quite know how I'm going to do the editing / production style, whether it's going to be scripted or impromptu or some mix of both. I'm kind of leaning the mix, but we'll see how that works. Anyway, that's a thing you can look forward to on this channel. So more Mystery Dungeon content in general. You're going to see a Gates to Infinity playthrough probably this year, maybe a Super Mystery Dungeon, and of course this starter series thing, along with the random sort of challenges, including the ones that you guys post in the comment section or on community tab posts. Please do keep tossing ideas out there. I absolutely want them. I'd love to hear them, and I write them down. I've got an Excel spreadsheet that I jot down the ideas and the commenter, so I can shout you out at least, even if I don't find the comment again, which I now think about it, probably should go and make sure I have the actual pictures of the comments or something, so we can have some sort of production in these videos. So please keep leaving the comments about any sort of ideas you have. Again, ideally for the first 2 generation of Mystery Dungeon games, or in other spin-off games, other games as well. I'm open to anything. Of course, with the sort of caveat, I'd like to have a standard playthrough of the game before going through it. So if you have a Gates to Infinity idea, go ahead and toss it in the comments, but I probably won't be doing it until actually playing through Gates to Infinity. And speaking of playthroughs on the channel, that goes to the other days of the week where we talk about what's going on there. So the Pokemon Violet DLC is continuing. That'll go until it's finished, which as of this point, I think we are currently in the Elite Four battling. So we'll continue with those. And the Pokemon Conquest series, we're winding down the main storyline with that. I'd like to do post-game, though I don't know how or where I'd do post-game, but at the very least, we're close to getting Conquest done, at which point, if anyone has any Conquest ideas, let me know. I've got a couple in mind. I might have mentioned one of them. If I did, then you'll know it, and if I didn't, then it'll be a surprise. And that'll, again, be one of those Saturday challenge video thingy things that you might see in the coming weeks, he says. Maybe. Who knows? It's not as if I have a proper schedule or anything like that. But on top of Pokemon Conquest and DLC, and then once one of those 2 series ends, we'll go back to my one-of-day sort of schedule. I'd also like to do other playthroughs on the channel. I've got a couple of ideas in mind. Some of them are the brand new games. Brand new as if, they came out recently. Brand new in the sense that they came out in the relative recent past. Such as I want to do the original Detective Pikachu so that I can do the new Detective Pikachu, because I know what happens in the original. I do not know what happens in the sequel. Please don't spoil it for me. Mystery games are kind of my thing, and even if it is a children's mystery game, it's still kind of my thing. So I kind of want to see how it is and what happens with that. So play through the original to play through the sequel, and yada yada yada. And then other sort of spin-off games as well. Of course, the main series stuff, we'll happily do the main series stuff. I have an idea of having a sort of like official Ahdurin region stamp approved playthrough of the various games that I have, whether going through them with the original teams that I played through. So perfect example, at some point between now and 2060, the year, there'll be a playthrough of Pokemon Ultra Moon on the channel, and it'll be sort of the official Ahdurin region playthrough of Ultra Moon, but it's just me replaying Ultra Moon except with my specific team that I use. So I'm going to copy the exact same thing so that you all can know what my first team was for those various different games. For the ones that I don't remember, like the original Diamond playthrough that I had way back when I was, 7, 8 years old or whatever, that I'm going to have to more fudge it and say, this is probably the official playthrough, and then we'll go from there. And I also want to do another sort of video thingy thing. Once those official playthroughs are done, I want to do a this is more thinking like future years, probably not this year, but a playthrough of just beating every single Pokemon game, solo running it with Wigglytuff, because of course I have to. It's my favorite Pokemon. It's the pseudo mascot of the channel. It's great. Gotta love it. So you can look forward to that again between now and the end of time. What else is there on the docket this year? I want to get back to Ace Attorney because that the second game has 1 episode on it, and that's it. I don't even know if I recorded future episodes because immediately afterwards, I think I switched over to Conquest, and then took a break, and then the DLC and the Violet and yada yada yada. So get back to Ace Attorney because of course I've got a bunch of stuff that's just sitting here waiting to be played. A lot of mystery games and stuff like that. So any sort of schedule maybe developed and turned into some sort of thing. So you can look forward to all of that as well. That is basically it. Yeah, so 2024, look forward to more Mystery Dungeon stuff in general. Challenge videos, playthroughs of the like. Look forward to more Pokemon gameplay. Look forward to other games as well, because while I may be known for Pokemon, and Pokemon might be my shtick, please know I play all sorts of stuff on this channel. So look forward to all of that, and hopefully I can introduce you to something new, or you can introduce me to something new, and I can play it on the channel and then be very impressed by the fact that this game, this ABC game has been completely out of my radar until just now. So that is about all I can think of. Plans for 2024. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I read all the comments. I answered 90% of the comments, I think, especially when the videos have recently come out. So go ahead and leave a comment. Questions, comments, concerns, do all that available down below. Reminder to like, reminder to subscribe. Look forward to all the stuff that's coming in the near or distant future. 2024 is going to be a good year. Oh, I didn't even say the big thing that I was thinking. In terms of videos this year, I think I'm leaning. I think let's throw. I don't even know how many we're at right now, so that's probably a good place to start here, basically. All right, so it looks like we're at 404, I think, as of prior. So this one, I guess, is 405. Let's see if we can hit 600 videos by the end of this year. It's about 200-ish. I've got a couple of two-a-days to start off this year, so that's a good sign. We're gonna have a few more two-a-days, and then from there we'll do one a day until something turns up. You know how it is. Try to get there. Ideally, let's shoot for 1 million subscribers. Yeah, we'll and all that fun stuff. But the best way to do that is for you to subscribe. So go ahead and do so. That's about it, really. So there you go. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Hearing if you have any suggestions. Again, I take comment. I've said this like 12 times in this video, but I want you to know I take the comments. I understand them. I listen to them. Very often, I end up using those comments and ideas and theories going forward. So if you've got any, please go ahead and leave them in the description down below. Thank you, everyone, for listening, for watching, and for supporting in this brand new, I was going to say school year, brand new year. And until next time, everyone, truly mean this a lot. Take care.